This is why it's so hard for common sense folks to wrap their head around supporting the American police. It's just so damn hard for normal human beings, as much as they love law and order, want to get behind the police department after you know about today's story. Just a big fat L for the police department. All across the United States, actually, even though it's like a local, regional police department's action, but it's reflective of the larger police actions or image across the United States. Hey guys, welcome back to Common Sense. This is your host, Dave. And today we're going to go over probably the biggest scandal in the summer or even in the entire 2026 between Bricks and Minifigs and a YouTuber called Reckless Ben. Supposedly, it was just a civil matter. It's like a YouTube video initially, right? Like for a story. But then what happened with different kind of parties getting involved, getting intermingled, revealing some dark side of the police department, especially the American Fork Police Department, AFPD. It's just a really bad look. And this is one of the reasons why common sense folks just can't get behind the police anymore. So we're gonna quickly go over the story. By the way, you can go on X and go on Grok and just quickly ask. It will research all the stories for you. So we're gonna quickly go over the background for those who don't know. But I think majority of you already know because it's such a big story on YouTube. So the short version is there was a father and son, and then the father got sick, so they needed money. And they have spent their lifetime collecting Lego collections. Now, I'm not a big collection guy, and I'm certainly not a big Lego guy because I grew up really poor, so I never had money for it. But this family had Lego, they claim it's the largest Star Wars Lego collection. That's worth about $200,000. You can see right here, right? 780 unopened boxes, 1,200 minifigures, a lot of Legos. That's all you need to know. So what happens is there's a local store that's actually a chain, a franchise called Brick and Minifigs. So the local store, they went to that store and then they did something called consignment agreement. Basically, what happens, they loan or they put their own Lego collections in the local store, and the store can go ahead and try to sell them. So if the store sell their inventory, sell the father and son inventory, they get a cut. But majority of the profits still go back to Brian and his father, right? By the way, the father and son is called Brian and Eric. You can see right here. So that's a consignment deal. But what happened was there was a transition. So when Brian and his father, Eric, put their inventory in this Brick and Minifig store, the store actually went through a transition. And during that transition, basically the new owner kind of, I wouldn't say confiscated, but stole the inventory. I wouldn't return it to Brian and his father. And because of that, they have about $200,000 of inventory of Brian's that the new owner just don't want to return, right? You can see right here when Mansell tried to retrieve the unsold items, the new operator allegedly refused and offered only a tiny fraction of the inventory. Mansell then claims this amounts to theft of his property, which makes sense, right? It's my inventory. He has a contract for it. He has a clear inventory list. So give me my product back. I understand you go through a transition, but basically the Brick and Minifig store, the location wouldn't return a product. And what happened is there's a YouTuber who decided to help. And by the way, this process went through many different months, according to the YouTube video, like according to Brian, I think like 7-8 months. And then finally, there's a YouTuber called Reckless Ben who decided to help Brian get his Legos back. And that's where the whole drama began. And when he started talking to the store and eventually going to the corporate, talking to the CEO of the corporate, Brick and Minifigs, the whole shenanigans just came out, right? It's a whole mess of the corporate and the store like sending blame to each other and ultimately, it's just not returning the product to Brian. And all Ben wanted is just get a product back. So that's the gist of the story. Now, you can obviously go on, I will link everything below, especially Reckless Ben's video, and you can watch all of it, right? To see like how exactly this happened, what they did to try to get a product back. I spent about 10 hours watching, this entire different videos, different angles of it. I gotta tell you, it's a crazy story. But that's the gist of the story. Now, I get it. So I'm not gonna go through the entire detailed story, but I will share my thoughts on it. I get it. It's like the new store owner, Josh and Brandon. That's the two people, Joshua and Brandon. They walk into this deal of taking over the store, right? And they thought they found a loophole and picked up a great deal. It's like they walked in and they thought it's only going to be, okay, this amount of inventory, but it just happened to have an extra inventory stack in there that's not in the inventory, in their inventory sheet. that's worth about $200,000. Just happened to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Lego, Star Wars Lego collection in the world. So they thought they got a great deal. Oh, are you saying we got the store, but we hope it happened to just pick up a gold mine, right? They thought they got all this great inventory for free. Largest Star Wars Lego collection in the world. It's almost you saw a gold coin on the ground, on the floor, and you decided to keep it. Gold coin, right? Because no one else is claiming it at the moment. Now, although one can understand this type of action, right? Especially if the bill is not a small coin. We're talking about 200,000 US dollar worth of inventory. It's a big fat gold coin. It's like a gold bar, right? The thing is, lots of decent people, after they pick up this gold coin, if the original owner actually come to claim it and then prove ownership of the coin, a lot of people will return it. But not these two new owners, right? Joshua and Brandon, Joshua Johnson and Brandon Best. Now, they just don't. And then they caught this loophole, and I think they're in the legal right. I'm not a legal expert, but apparently it's taking forever for the legal process just to return the product to Brian. Even though he has all the contract, he has all the inventory list to prove that he legally owned the product, apparently legal process wouldn't return a product, right? With the so-called the best justice system in the world can't even return a product to Brian. So I would assume at this point, legally, there is a loophole that Joshua and Brandon are sitting on to just not want to return the product. I don't know why. I mean, Brick and Minifig is a huge corporation. This store owner apparently are really rich. Later on, you watch their video, you find out they're probably all multimillionaires, live in huge mansions, and they have a lot of money. So what's the big deal of this Star Wars Lego collection? Maybe they're just Lego whores, and then they really want to hoard this inventory. They love it. Oh, I've never seen inventory like this. I've never seen the biggest Star Wars, and I really want to collect it. I just don't want to return it. I don't know. They just don't want to return it, right? Now, I do want to mention that the story has came out long enough that Brick and Minifigs Corporation and new store owner Josh and Brandon claim the inventory. They claim now, by the way, their story keep on changing, but they claim now the inventory was stolen by the previous owner, Crystal. So during the transition. So basically, they never have the inventory. It was stolen by the previous owner, which is totally possible before the final investigation concluded. So we want to be reasonable and give all parties the benefit of the doubt. Okay, so I don't want to say, oh, we just want to trust Reckless Ben 100% just because he made a great YouTube video. He did. He made a great YouTube video, a bunch of them. But the idea here is we want to be just and then non-biased. So I don't want to take sides. It's totally possible that what they're saying is true because we haven't seen any papers yet. But according to Ben's latest interview, which we'll also link down below, his latest interview appearance with some podcasters, he said that Crystal has shown all the receipt possible. So Ben is leaning toward trusting the previous owner, right? Even after the interview with the Brick and Minifig CEO. So Crystal, the previous owner, have shown all the receipts, have not delayed any call, have picked up just been communicating every time Ben has requested. I mean, if anyone would trust that kind of person, then a shady corporation who have tried to put this YouTuber in jail every step along the way, right? They just don't want to deal with him. So at this stage, there's no concrete evidence yet because this is not in court and we haven't seen the concrete evidence which side is actually true. But I'm going with the first version of the story just so that the Joshua and Ben actually stole the inventory, right? This seems a lot, Joshua and Brandon's are a lot plausible, right? That they just stole the inventory. And I want to give you but I just want to give you the context for consideration that we're not taking sides. It is, in my opinion, 99% likely that, Joshua and Brandon are just lying. They kept the inventory and then they don't want to return it. And they are also linked with Brick and Minifig CEO, the corporation, because they're all Mormon. This is a huge, I wouldn't say cult, but like a group of community behind the scene. I'm not saying Mormon is a cult, just like the group of the community behind it, right? I know very little about the religion. Okay, so after spending about 10 hours watching this every video interview I can find on the internet, right? I gotta say, it's not how horrible this business people are that bothers me. Although they're really horrible, like I said. But I I have the worst luck most of the time in my life. Okay. I've just never won any lottery, never won any giveaways. So I see this just a terrible, terrible luck by Brian, the owner of the Lego, who run into some bad business people. Although it truly is mega bad luck, because we're talking about $200,000 inventory here that, he and his father collected for their whole life. But what truly bothered me, and I would say sickened me to the bone, and my wife, like, because we both watched it and we're just like disgusted, was how the police like just reacted to the situation. Okay, it actually gave me creepy chills watching like episode 2 from Reckless Ben logging what happened to him, investigating this issue, trying to get the Lego back. Like all he wanted is get the Lego back for Brian. That's it, right? And this is, when you watch what the police did, you will notice this is literally corruption from the top down. It reminded me of a very scary video game I played many years ago when I was still streaming actively, called Outlast 2. You just happen to stumble upon a cult, and then like in a small town, and everybody in that cult try to protect each other, and they just eat humans, they eat outsiders, doesn't matter, right? You're not part of my cult, we're gonna eat you alive. That's literally what it feels like, and every single one of the people in the police department feel like they are infiltrated, like mentally, by this cult. I don't know why that is. Maybe the owner is the leader of the cult. I don't know, right? It's like you walk into the city and the entire community is a freaking cult. It's so corrupt. Everyone's corrupt. If you're not in the cult, your life is getting wrecked, right? It's like in a very bloody way. It's a very bloody way. They're going to eat your organs. They're going to suck your blood. I don't know. The situation, from my common sense opinion, is hopeless for solution from a local level. Because you will watch the video, you'll notice that Reckless Ben, it tried to go through the legal route. It tried to go through the actual correct way, right? Go through the legal court system to deal with it, because they have all the papers, they have all the proof, they've done everything right. So he thought this is very common sense, step by step, get my product back, this bad business people, give me my product back kind of stuff, very easy. But it turned out that's not the case, right? It turned out this entire cult, top to bottom. I think the only way to solve this probably require federal involvement. Again, I'm not a lawyer, and it seems like a lot of people are helping Ben, but this bad people are still holding the product, and the police still chasing this guy out of the country. By the way, Reckless Ben got harassed by the police so much, and he's actually worried for his life, for his own safety. Now he's in Mexico. Imagine this is the United States of America when a neutral journalist who was investigating the issue, helping the underdog, helping the underdog of the story, right? The right owner of the product to get their product back. That's all he's doing. And doing everything the right way, the legal way, the fun way. And he is getting chased, harassed, sent to jail, where now he's afraid for his own life and safety. The owner also threatened to kill him. But instead of investigating this current store owner, right, Joshua, the police is arresting Ben. And he's so afraid he's in Mexico right now. That's how crazy the story is, I think this entire case needs a taste of Trump. I think we need to pull out the Trump card just to solve this, right? Trump, it's not saying we're a fan of Trump or Trump family. That's not what we're saying at all. But with how much media attention this is getting across the entire United States, I bet if Trump comes in, or Trump's family, because I know like his son like to get into social media and whatnot. Trump got into different podcasts, I heard, also because of his son. Okay, it doesn't matter. But if Trump's family come in and help get this right, Trump might just get lots of lost support back from his fans because of the recent oil prices, right? The gas prices has gone crazy. It's slowly coming back down now, but that's beyond the point, right? I think it's just big political dub for Trump, or whichever party decided to come out and help this underdog, right? Reckless Ben, Brian, to get their product back. It's just a smart move. Somebody come out and start doing it. So that's the background that you need to know. I want to share a little bit of footage, okay, from Ben's episode 2, where you can see how our protagonist Ben was doing everything by the book, following the law, helping the underdog, doing everything possible in broad daylight, while presenting evidence for everything he's doing, because everything's logged. Like everything is, they're YouTubers trying to make videos out of it, right? So everything's logged, everything is on tape, and he brings the receipt with him everywhere he goes, because everything is planned ahead of time. And how Ben eventually became the criminal in the eyes of the police, right? How the police department actively was impeding the law. Like when they are the police. I mean, like it's just crazy. Let's watch this.
Oh, there's another one, dude. 2 cop cars.
3 cop cars?
Oh my gosh. Cop cars.
Why is there 3 cop cars in this house?
By the way, you can watch episode 1 and then learn the entire background. So what happened was, because they couldn't get the product back, and then the owner had promised many different times, the current store owner, to give the product back, and they couldn't. So eventually they decided to go through more creative ways to get the product back one way or the other, right? So they went to the court, and then went to the mini court, small case court, and won like bunch of small cases to get the money back. And they won because the new owner, Joshua and Brandon, didn't show up in court, so they won by default. So he has the court paper, and then the court requires him to serve to the defendant, right? Basically to Joshua and Brandon. So he needed to serve direct the paper to Joshua and Brandon, directed by the court. And this is him trying to do exactly what the court is asking him to do, hiring a intermediate person, hiring like a median to do that, with the address of Joshua and Brandon, right? Given by the court, directed by the court, and how the police treated them when they're trying to do what the court asked them to do. So let's watch.
We didn't even walk up to his house yet. The cops are following us. What the heck? That's so crazy, dude. Obey every traffic law.
He's got his lights on.
Oh, shoot.
He's pulling us over.
So here, police is pulling them over. And then you can see before that, he was telling that his driver to obey every single traffic law.
The reason I stopped you is the stop sign. Just stop that.
I didn't? No. I thought I stopped.
Yeah, you definitely stopped. So you said you ran a stop sign?
Huh?
You said you ran a stop sign?
I didn't see what happened.
Yeah, I was like...
Because we definitely stopped at the stop sign.
You see that the police are just making up stories. So the first police said you ran a stop sign, and why they require a second police to come up, they're here to look at basically monkeys in the zoo. They're not here to actually do a stop sign. This is it's an unlawful police stop. There's no actual reason. And later on, there's actually a police body cam that showed up, and you can see they clearly did a full stop at a stop sign. There's no reason to stop them. At least you can be truthful. Hey, we're investigating this issue. Somebody called police on you guys, and then we're looking into it to see if you guys are harassing this family. But no, they just said, we stop you guys because you run a stop sign, when they didn't. This is so scary. This is why, like, I was actually talking to my wife not too long ago, like, if we drive on a highway in the middle of the night and there's a random police that try to pull you over, would you even stop? Because I wouldn't. I don't even know if I should call the police, because they are the police, right? But like, you just get scared by the police sometimes because it's all fake. This is clearly fake. They're trying to stop them to conduct illegal traffic stops, to do scary stuff, just to stop them, impede them.
Sorry, yeah. I was so sure that we stopped at the stop sign that I actually requested all the police footage of this. And as you can see, we didn't even do a rolling stop.
This is them, right? This is their car. This is Reckless Ben's car.
We fully stopped at the stop sign.
He fully stopped.
So this is an illegal traffic stop.
So who's Ben? Me. Ben.
So the first question when you look at this video is like, how do they know his name? Usually like at a traffic stop, the police will come ask for your driver license, blah, blah, blah. But no, this police came over. Who's Ben? They're clearly not doing a traffic stop. You can't just do that. This is literally illegal. All these people who are doing this, who are involved in this case, need to be fired immediately, and they need to be shown in public. Need to be shamed in public, right? This is bullying, because it's like, as much as we want to support law and order, this is bad actors, and they have to go. This has put a really shadow image upon the entire American police, because like, this is really scary, with people who are given power by the state who are abusing it on regular folks.
How's Utah?
It's good.
Like it?
Okay, it's pretty obvious that the police know why we're here, so I just explained to them the entire situation. This old man spent his entire life collecting the world's largest Star Wars Lego collection set. The only problem is it's a crazy story, and the police officer did not believe me.
$100,000?
$200,000.
$200,000. It sounds crazy.
Yeah, when the officer went back.
So they knew the story. First of all, the police knew the story, and they don't believe him. Why? I thought you're supposed to come in to any investigation, I'm biased, trying to find the bottom of the truth. And by the way, there are a lot of good cops videos that you watch, right? So when a police is called by the people who are harassing, like at Party A, if Party A is harassing Party B, and then they actually fake call the police at Party B is doing the harassment, the police come in, look at the facts, and then make a judgment on their own. They don't pre-assume who is in the right, who's in the wrong. They can make a decision on their own. But instead, you can clearly tell this police came with a bias. They already don't believe them, right? Without any investigation. And by the way, Ben has all the proof in his hand, everything.
Back to his car, this is the message that he radioed in.
Hey, can you get the contact for Reckless Ben? Said he didn't have his ID, but he's just straight lying to me about everything else, so.
Since the cops don't believe my story, they trespassed me from the property.
Everybody today is being trespassed from that property.
Okay.
Yeah, we were forced to go home without having this good faith conversation the court requires us to have.
Yeah, what do we do now, dude? Like, we need.
Yeah, the court need them to have a quote unquote good faith conversation with this person to deal with it before this can be filed.
Even like get to talk to him and we're in trespass.
So, dude.
But one thing I didn't understand was how the heck did they know we were coming? I was hiding in the back seat the entire time.
They're clearly tapped. I think they're clearly tapped.
And the car's windows
Like
were...
you will watch the entire video and you will know that like watch episode 1 and 2, you will see that they were followed every step along the way. Everything they're doing, the police already knew. And this video came out much later, you know, so
extremely tinted.
These windows are so tinted, you can't see anything.
But as I was outside inspecting our car tent, the same police showed up to our house.
Oh no, we're getting pulled over again?
It was weird. He wouldn't tell us why he was here.
Like I said, we've already talked about
Yeah, well thanks for being so cool about everything.
Yeah.
They're like after us, dude.
Anyways, since Josh clearly doesn't want to...
sometimes it's hard to blame the people who is executing. It's like you don't blame the executioner, right? Because it's the mastermind controlling them. They're just pawns. So it's clear to me that somebody at the higher up are directing the police to do that. Because if it's an actual investigation called upon the police and the police told them to go home, they went home, there's no way this police people are actually following them home. The same people, and then just like tracking them, like stalkers. There's no way. The only reason this is happening is somebody at a really higher up has the power to say, okay, you don't have to work on anything else today, right? You're on taxpayer money, but you don't need to do traffic stop. You don't do anything. You don't need to protect the community. What you need to do is follow these kids because they are a danger. Why are they a danger? Don't worry about it. It's above your pay grade. Just go follow them and report everything you see.
To have this good faith conversation with me, I took his trophy and destroyed it.
Okay, we can skip this part,
easy
right?
way.
But this is Joshua. This is the store owner, current store owner.
The only option left is before going the hard. Brandon is the guy in this. I tried calling him, but legally kicked
By the way,
the
this is
first
the
owner
second
out of the
store
store
owner,
so
Brandon.
he could steal all their Legos. I tried calling him, but I am also blocked.
I'm sorry.
The only option left is to show up to his house.
This is him visiting Brandon,
Hello.
the second store owner.
Hey, how's it going? Hello? Hey, well.
By the way, first of all, this looks scary. This literally looks like one of those murder body cam, footage you watch on the one of the YouTube channel. You watch police body cams. That somebody's about to murder you. This is the look on their face. And these guys are Mormon. There's I heard there are really strict rules they follow. They're supposed to be kind-hearted people, and this is a very bad look. I don't know how the Mormon community think of this. Maybe they're the leader of the community. I don't know. That's why they can do whatever the heck they want. And then they can just justify and keep on brainwash the followers. I don't know. But this is not the eye contact of a normal human. This is literally the eye contact of coming from a murder, in my opinion.
I was
If you
wondering
look at this,
if
you're
you
gonna
began to
get
pay
chills.
us for the
He didn't say
lawsuit we
anything.
won.
And look, you can see that they live in mansions, right? Four-door garages, big mansions. These are really rich folks, right? And sitting on the top of the food chains.
It kind of seems like Brandon doesn't want to have this good faith conversation to resolve this problem outside of court. And I gave him plenty of time to speak.
I guess if you don't want to talk, I'll just talk. So you guys told us to take you to court. We went to court and we won. We know you closed down the store, to avoid paying us. So we could just sue you guys personally and do the whole thing again. We would obviously win again, but.
So a little bit of context, right? The owners they agreed to return the product because they knew they ever lost the case in the court of the public opinion. So they finally agreed to return the stolen product to Brian and his father. But they didn't. They never did, right? So these kids, Ben and his friends, have to go through a bunch of legal process. And then the current store owner, Joshua and Brandon, they asked him to sue. Yeah, if you think you're so in the right, go sue. So they sued and they won, as I mentioned, in the small case court. But these guys, instead of returning the money or the product, they decided to shut down the store. The store was permanently closed. When at the end of the episode 1, I mean, that's a little bit of a, I don't want to, ruin the show for you, but go watch episode 1. But basically, they closed the store to avoid paying for the fine, paying for the core money.
But then the police showed up, and again, for some reason, they are really trying to protect these criminals.
He didn't steal anything. He inherited the store from somebody else.
By the way, I want you to look at the interaction of this female police officer and Ben really carefully.
Oh, he stole $200,000
How
worth
do you
of.
know this?
Because I've been spending the last 3 months in the case, and I won in court.
He inherited the store.
Uh-huh.
He's being blamed for everything that the previous owner did, and he's trying.
Well,
to
that's a lie. So we.
Okay, hold on. I'm still
Okay,
talking.
I'm sorry.
He's still trying to clean up the mess from the previous owner, and now he's catching blame for it.
Uh-huh.
And he's just trying to clean up the mess from the previous owner.
No, him saying that it's the previous owner, that's a lie, and we already proved this in court. Okay.
If you come back and step foot on this property, you're gonna go to jail.
All right, here we go. So you understand this, right? The police are called in to intervene with the situation. But again, police will be unbiased in the situation, right? Here is Ben doing what the court asked him to do. The police got called in. They were clearly talking to this Brandon guy, the leader of the cult. And then this police feel like they're minions of the cult, right? That's literally how it feel like. Because right after that, Brandon explained they already won in court. And then later on, you also find out that Ben have shown all the paper, basically the receipts that they have won in court, and this is what the court asked them to do. They're here to do a lawful action directed by the court. And the police supposed to do what the court asked them to do, right? But instead, the police is trusting a random person's story over the action directed by the court. That's when you know you have to get the fuck out of here, because your ass is about to get shot down by the police, right? It's actually scary as hell. Like, how are the police there looking at the facts? One side is a fact, one side is a hearsay. Some random guy just saying, oh, there's a, I'm catching blame for blah, blah, blah. And there's the guy presenting facts from the court. And instead of looking at the facts and acting on behalf of the fact, the police decided to act on a story. Does that make any sense? How is that common sense to anyone? That doesn't. That's what's so scary for me. Like how the police can just do this. And this female officer cut Ben off, and Ben was being polite. You can see the entire interaction that he had with every single police officer. He complied to the teeth and nail, right? Every step along the way. And the police just not letting him do work at all. This not doing any lawful actions either.
The police gave me a formal trespass notice, which I took a picture of it and sent it to the court as proof I tried to have this good faith conversation, but Brandon didn't want to have it with me. And turns out this was good enough. My court case with Brandon Best got accepted. But my court case with Josh is still going to be rejected until I find a way to have this good faith conversation with him. So I decided to see if I could find Josh online, to see if I could look up any more information about him.
Yeah, well,
Let me show you a second part of the police interaction. Here we go.
The police apparently got a call that we had heroin on us.
So they were trying to serve the paper, but instead, the police got a call said they have heroin on them.
Search of your person because there are illegal substances in the vehicle. Really? So he's gonna do that. I'm gonna put this away, and then we'll be right. Don't reach in your pockets for me. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you. The vehicle will be searched. Okay. I'm gonna have you stick by my sergeant.
And you can see that these guys are well educated, or nicely educated. They obey everything the police are saying, every instruction they're saying. Like, don't reach in your pocket, hold your hands high. Everything that they're doing basically to give the police peace of mind that they can do their investigation however they want, even though this is a fake call, evidently by the current store owner, just to get them in trouble, just to put them behind bars, right? So I mean, you can give the police, you can trust police at this point. Like, this is a new police officers, they got the call to conduct investigation regarding the heroin, whatever. So they come in, investigate it. But look, they searched this body cam footage. Right,
After 2 hours of searching the car, obviously they found no drugs.
So, he didn't find anything.
I explained to the police that we didn't have drugs, and the reality of the situation is that Bricks and Minifigs is so desperate at this point that they're willing to do anything to get us arrested so they don't have to pay for the property they stole. And the police was arguing back with just some of the worst comebacks I've ever heard, which is why I think the police actually redacted this audio in this clip.
So here's the thing, right? Why is audio redacted? And later in this entire video, Ben actually called American Fork Police Department to ask why the body cam has redacted audio for some of the most important part of the conversation. And they said we are in the right to do so. I don't understand how the law allows this and how this audio can be redacted. So basically, the AFPD can release only the part that they think are beneficial to them. But like any part that's actually in the court of law, in the court of public opinion, will be not beneficial to them, they don't have to release it. That's supposed to be justice, right? They don't, because we redacted everything. Most of the body cam footage, you can watch from the police response. They released all the body cam footage. Most of the audios are redacted for the important conversations, or for any part that police discussing behind the scene, all redacted.
Because if they kept the audio in,
that's totally not shady at all. That's totally should give any civilian peace of mind that these police are doing the right thing.
Then the world would get to see how stupid the American Fork Police Department is. But anyways, even though we were passing every single drug test they gave us, they were still not going to let us go until we told them where the drugs were.
Your eyes, for example, right? Right. There's a constriction, which is dilated, and then
Do you notice it?
So I haven't been looking at this. I'll show him. Go ahead and look at him.
Oh, look at you?
Yeah.
You do see it?
So
It's crazy. I have no idea, because I've never done any drugs in my life. I don't do drugs. I don't do alcohol.
They pass any drug test, and this police are, dude, this is real life. I thought this only exists in the movies where the police plan the drug in your car just to put you behind bars. This is real life. These kids are clearly not on drugs, right? They're there to do what the court asked them to do. The police stop them because of a random call, and they're basically forcing a confession. And you will see they actually start threatening them to force a confession. It's so scary to me.
I've never done any of that in my life. I'm willing to do any drug tests. Yeah.
And you can see they're willing to cooperate to any extent, right, with the police.
I'm very cooperative. I don't understand what you're seeing in my eyes.
I'm gonna have a discussion with this officer.
And then the police department illegally redacted this conversation too. My guess is that they acknowledged that it's very obvious we don't have drugs on us, but they were going to try and pressure us into giving some type of false confession anyways.
I'm not sure if you're lying to me or not, to be honest.
I'm willing to take any drug test you want.
I'm walking a very dangerous line.
You don't have to trust him, bro. You already done your test. You're the police. You are supposed to make a judgment based on scientific facts, not believe or not believe, bro. What are you? How is this guy still a police? Why is he still there? Get him fired, bro. This is so scary to me because it's literally a cult. The fact that I'm not sure whether I should believe or not. What did you just do? What did you spend hours? They were stopped for 3 hours doing all this kind of crazy tests, right, for drugs. What were you doing in the 3 hours then? What were you doing? You did all this testing. Oh, I'm not sure. Why should I believe you? What was the test for then? He said, if you want to do blood tests, go ahead. He said, I'm willing to do any test you guys want.
Which get you hemmed up a lot.
Yeah.
And here he's threatening him, right? Look, listen to it again.
A very dangerous line, which get you hemmed up a lot.
Yeah.
You could end up in jail in Utah when you're from Cali.
Okay.
Not worth it, right?
Yeah.
We play differently here.
Bro, this is such a scary line. We play differently here. How do you play? Tell me. Explain it, please. Don't redact the audio. This is so scary. They're literally threatening these kids, saying oh, you better just play good, right? We play differently here. Like, what do you mean? Like, this call is not a call that you want to deal with. That's literally what they're saying. Bro, get this clowns fired, man. They don't belong in this outfit. They're not police officers. They're literally cult members. Like, get them out. Like, I don't know why this entire video is out. This body cam is allowed out. First of all, I think they should have redacted this because this sounds so freaking fishy. This is literally corruption at its core. And they actually revealed it thinking that this is okay, which is stupid to me. But, you know, if anything, they should redact this part. This is literally a blatant threat for no reason. They've done everything cooperatively. And he said, oh, we play differently here. Yeah, stop investing in our leaders because, you know, we play differently here.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
I'm willing to cooperate with you guys and do anything you want me to because I'm not hiding anything. I can promise you that. I promise.
We weren't giving the police a false confession like they wanted, so eventually I guess they just got tired and let us go.
We'll let you guys go now, but you're walking a thin line. Just be mindful of that. Does that make sense?
Okay. At this point, I've documented everything I've been through to the court.
That is so scary, man. This actually scares the living hell out of me. Like the entire interaction with the police, like the entire episode 2 is more about the police. Well, basically the story then is he then tried to serve the paper to Joshua, the store owner, but he obviously don't want to take it. So they decided to use a wits to bait this person into taking this paper, required by law, right? The court need them to serve this paper, and this guy's not taking it. So they're basically baiting this guy to take the order from the court.
Now I'm placing this poster in a public space right
Which I
across
think
the
is kinda
street
funny.
from Josh's house.
It's also kind of crazy, to be honest, but this is why a lot of people, entire world, love America for this, because America is the only country I think people are crazy enough to have this type of creativity to do this. Like, you will never find kids who are doing this in China, where I grew up, because the parents won't allow them, right? But you will never find this type of creativity or simply just like kids doing this because, again, the restriction from their family or whatnot. In America, you know, I think also you can tell that Ben come from a really good family. The fact that he has the time, the energy, the finances to do this, right?
It turns out
clearly there's a good support system behind him.
Tiny patch of land is actually free for any person of the public to use. And since we have the freedom of speech, I am breaking
And he's also very well-mannered.
no laws by doing this. So when Josh walks outside to take down this sign, I have a process server to serve him his court papers.
Yeah, this is intermediate. This is also required. When I researched, it's also required, right, to have an intermediate process server. So this basically he does not know her. He just hired her to do it because he's considered a biased party, where they need an unbiased party to serve the court paper, and that's basically who she is.
But almost immediately, my sign got blocked.
Oh no, he's blocking our sign.
What are you guys doing here?
Police department.
So we are in a court case with them, and we have to serve them legal papers. So I explained to the cops the entire situation.
I'm not going on his property.
Right, no, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
The police realized that we're not breaking any laws, and they've been called here for a false reason, so they decided to leave.
Awesome, thank you.
That's so scary.
This is going so much better than yesterday.
So now it's time to serve Josh these court papers. And then we got the police called on us again.
Hello.
Dude, I would be scared, right? He's literally dealing with a cult leader, and he's just constantly poking him. It's like a poking the bear until the bear really want to just chew her head off. And that's literally, but luckily everything's being recorded. So I think that's why he's still alive. If this is probably back 30 years ago where there's not so many cameras and whatnot, I think this guy's already dead. And he probably never heard of him, right? Because the story already ended and then their parents never seen them again. So luckily we live in a society now where there's so many different cameras, so many different ways to log this type of stuff. But still, like you gotta admire the bravery, the creativity coming out from Reckless Ben. That's why his name is Reckless Ben.
This man stole basically his family's life savings. So we're just here to serve him his court papers.
Again, I explained to this police officer the entire situation.
I wish we could just send him an email or a phone call, you know, but yeah, the court requires us to come in person for some reason, so.
Again, the cops realized that we are doing nothing illegal and decided to leave. Now it's time to serve Josh his court papers. But we got the police called on us again.
Hello.
Yep, I see those papers.
Yeah.
So this is what you're trying to serve him with?
Yes. That's required by the court.
Again, the police agree that we are not breaking the law. They've been called out here for a false reason. This guy told me that he could even just serve the papers for me.
You okay if I give these papers to him?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, just give me 1 minute.
Okay.
By the way, the police doing the right thing here, right? Serving the paper. And then it's so funny. Watch.
Sadly, we can't see the police officer serve Josh because the police department redacted all of it. But the only thing that really matters is that Josh is getting served.
I don't know why this is being redacted. This interaction should not be redacted at all. I don't even know if this is illegal. Basically, interaction of, because it's required by law where he has to take the paper. And also, by the way, I looked up on Grok, like, can you legally deny a court paper in Utah? The answer is no, you cannot effectively legally deny or refuse court papers in Utah in a way that stops the legal process. Physically refusing to take them does not prevent you from being considered served. In this case, basically, if the police went to serve the papers and this guy refused to take it, it still means it's considered served, okay? And then he should have just left the paper there, but obviously I don't think all the police knows the laws. The law's incredibly complicated, right? Nobody understands law that much, to be honest. Even a very professional lawyer have to refer to the book, for specific cases because nobody memorized them. That's why I think a lot of people are saying AI is going to replace lawyer and all those people first because AI never forgets. But yeah, if a person, Utah rules of civil procedure, if a person to be served refused to accept a copy of summons or complaint, service is sufficient if the person serving them states the name of the process and offer to deliver them. This means the process server only needs to identify the documents, offer them to you. That's it. If you refuse, they can leave the paper and the service is still valid. This is called a drop service. Basically, the person cannot deny the delivery, right? Because this is required by the court. You can't just say, oh, you want to sue me? No, I don't want to be sued. And just pretend nothing's going to happen. Like it's like you turn off the lights and saying like it's, nothing is happening outside. It's stupid.
But look, he does not want the paper. So
He's not want the
That's
papers?
it.
here's that back for you.
Okay.
Yeah, the police told me that they can't serve the papers for me because I'm lying to them, and these aren't even real court papers.
Not sure what this is. I've never seen something like that.
That shows how I wouldn't say stupid, but really is. Because you look up AI or can call the court and immediately know what this is, right? Even if you don't, but don't act like you don't know, because that just shows you how unprofessional you are. You're the police. You're the executioner of the law. And the fact that you said you don't know what an actual court paper is, why are you still the police, right? It's so scary.
To be honest with you,
These are court papers.
okay, it doesn't have a judge's name or anything like that on it.
Because it hasn't gotten to the judge yet. So this is serving him, and then we'll go to the court, and then the judge will be there. So the judge doesn't get involved until we're in
The
court.
kid knows more than the police. Why are they still here, bro? Why are they still here?
Because he wants us arrested, so he doesn't have to go to court.
It doesn't look good when you've been trespassed.
Yeah.
Trying to serve papers.
How? Like they're outside of his property. So you're saying regular citizens just cannot, be around the society because one person doesn't like them.
Well, I think it looks exactly how we're supposed to do it legally. This is the legal way to do it.
Well, the court asked him to do legal action.
Yeah. Well, first, so they're incidents because he's lying to you guys. He's making them incidents. We came to do a good faith conversation, which is required by the courts before you can get a court case approved. So we did that. He called the cops on us. He lied to you guys saying that we had heroin on us, and we did a 3-hour search of the car yesterday. We found no heroin in the car. He's going to make up any lie he can to get us arrested. We are doing things the legal way, the correct way. The reason he's hiding in his house is because he's the criminal. If something doesn't look good, it doesn't look good for him, not for us.
Go the legal.
So here's the thing, though, right? I don't think it looks. Obviously, it doesn't look good on Joshua, of course. But what really doesn't look good. See, my entire video reaction is how scary the police justice system is. Because I've been a supporter of police. I grew up supporting, everything about the police because I believe in law and order. A civilized society should have law and order. The police should have the power to do what's right for the society. And then also I believe in heavy punishment for criminals, like heavy punishment for criminals. So I support the police. I don't think society should have just riots and people's store getting destroyed. None of those, right? This make anyone with common sense, anything left in their heart to be like, brother, like, why are these clowns police? Like, they need to be just gone, right? Fired, whatever the case may be, investigated full extent, find out who their boss is, who directed this order to harass Ben and his friends to conduct a lawful action. Like, what is going on?
Process, find an actual process server.
She is an actual process server.
And what is your guys' relationship?
I just met her today.
Well, maybe just have someone not affiliated with you.
That's her. Yeah, she's.
Yeah,
we have no relationship. That's why.
Dude, you can't be. See, here's the thing, right? Like, you cannot have stupid people to represent the police. You just can't. He just said it 3 times that, like, I don't know how many times he need to tell you. I just met her today. This is a process server. The guy, like, you need a process server, not affiliated with you. When did you meet her? I just met her today. This is my process server. Like, what else do you need? Do it through a legal way. I'm doing it through a legal way. And he showed them through action, not through words. That's the most important thing, do mind you, right? He's not, everything Ben is doing, he has receipts to show for. Like, all his actions are being tracked by himself. And he's willing to show the police everything he has done. So everything's being jogged, logged, and you can watch all of them with proof. And the police can access them. But instead of trusting actions, the police are, I don't know what they're doing. And see, that's the thing that scares me. Just like, the only way to explain this irrational behavior by the police is the corruption to the core. From the top down, this is a cult. And it's being led by a cult who is following maybe the police department head, right, police chief, or maybe the AG of, I don't know. Somebody somehow is being influenced by this brick and minifig store owner. Maybe they're a local cult leader. Who knows? That's the only way any common sense people looking at this are like, why are the police acting this way? That's the only rational explanation for it.
She's here, yeah. That's why she's here. We have no relationship, and that is who she is, the exact person that you were describing.
I always thought that the police were supposed to remain unbiased, and if they were going to take a side, they definitely shouldn't take the side of the criminal.
Crazy.
But I guess I was wrong.
That's crazy.
However, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm literally just following the instructions of the court, so the police can't stop me.
Okay, have a good race your day.
Okay, see ya.
Now that the police are finally leaving, it's time to game plan how to serve Josh. But then, you guessed it, we got the police called on us again.
Oh, sure. The
For
paper?
what?
This is so, by the way, this part is so funny.
Here you go. Well,
Do they think it's a false case? What the heck?
thank you for holding. How can I help you?
By the way, so the police then called the court to verify if this is legitimate.
Trying to speak with someone to verify if a case is, just verify if a case is real.
Yeah, looks like a real small claims case in our court.
Okay, thank you for your help.
So basically the court verified this is a legitimate case. This is a legitimate case, and then they're there to serve the papers, right? They basically verified that, again, by facts, by action, that this is true, this is lawful, and they're there to do what the court asked them to do.
That's all for today. Thank you.
I think this phone call was the breaking point for the police.
Oh, he's rubbing his chin.
The police couldn't handle the fact that I was right and they were wrong.
But they also have the call leader. They have the directive from the call leader saying, well, you got to get this guy out of it. I don't want to be served. What do we do? It's a dilemma.
Hello. Okay.
So look what they did.
Am I being arrested? Really?
Bro, how this is not scary, man? After the court verified this is a lawful case, this is a lawful action, the next action the police did, okay, well, we have no choice now. I think the only way, the leader already said it, we have to get him out. All right, let's just arrest him. This is the only way, right? This is the only way.
Ben got arrested. Like, they didn't say anything when they were putting him in handcuffs. They just said, you're being arrested.
I was confused on what I was being arrested for. I mean, the same police officers that arrested me gave me permission to do exactly what I was doing.
You can film from the sidewalk wherever it's public, right? but you can't go on that property. If you do, you'll be charged, okay?
Okay, yeah, for sure.
I
Which he
got
never
arrested
did.
for just doing what the police told me to do. What's even more confusing is the police are supposed to be the good guys. Why are they arresting an innocent person to protect an evil criminal?
That's what I'm confused on, right? This is why this is so scary. It's not about this guy being bad. Everybody know he's a horrible business person, and you can see the house that he's sitting in front of. This guy's all mega rich. Like, we don't know how they got so rich, right? But old money, new money, who knows? Scam money, fraud money, that's across the entire United States, who knows? Nobody cares, right? There are tons of horrible people out there. Nobody cares. The thing is about the police. At least they're supposed to be unbiased, but apparently no.
Well, back when I was still waiting in the car to serve Josh, I got a phone call. And this call was from Brian, the collector's son, who got all their stuff stolen. And he has a theory of what might be going on here.
Yeah, the cops down there are definitely all in with the Mormon community, and being the Bricks and Minifigs is part of that and worth millions. I would not doubt that they have donated hefty sums to the Mormon church, of which all the cops are probably a part of.
You see, this is speculation. We don't know if it's true, but by action, this is the only way it makes sense. By what the police have done so far, this is the only way it makes sense. If there's no correlation, and this has to be the top down, from top down. That's why I think this is a perfect opportunity for any politician who want to gain public national support to be the next president of the United States. Come out now, right? And get this guy's fired, in jail. Not just fired, they have to be in jail, right? Get this quote unquote fake police people in jail. Get the AG, get the police chief, all of them in jail. Dude, you're the politician for life. You can scam the entire national tax money. I think that's the way to go. That's the big money play right there. That's what it's supposed to do. You know, so
yeah.
But
Brandon
so far
Best,
it's just
Joshua
not what we're
Johnson,
seeing here.
and
Why?
Eamon,
Where
the
is the
CEO.
politicians?
Live, it's time to promote it, to start getting donations.
So okay, so basically, I want to continue doing a reaction because next thing they did is they did a GoFundMe to raise money, right, for Brian and his dad Eric, you know, who lost obviously their life savings and products still being confiscated by, you know, the evil business owner Joshua and Brandon.
Sure, to hang it up so we could get a nice Instagram video to post to social media. But before the group could even hang the picture up, the police came.
What you guys up to? We're starting a GoFundMe.
Watch this.
Yeah. What we're doing is we're gonna get a bunch of publicity to get basically all this money back for this family. Yeah. You know, we're not going to do the lawsuit anymore. We're just going to do this GoFundMe. We've already got it started.
It can run into some defamation stuff.
Again, the police were thinking of any technicality they could think of
How?
to protect their Mormon friend.
How is it running into defamation?
Look at your stalking.
Like, just because you don't like it is defamation? Like, go prove defamation then, right? Go sue them. Say whatever you want. Go sue them.
Code. See if it's that. If it's not, we're going to look at disorderly. If it's not disorderly, then we're going to look at the city ordinance.
Why are the police doing everything, pulling everything out of the book, trying to scare these people? Like, normally police don't conduct stuff like this, right? The thing is, like, unbiased police, if you actually did unlawful stuff, they will just prosecute you accordingly. But instead, these guys are just scaring them to not do it. Because there's nothing they're doing that's actually illegal. They're just saying whatever the fuck they want to scare these people.
But after going through every law they could think of, it turns out that hanging this sign on a fence and then taking a picture of it for Instagram is not illegal. In fact, what the group is doing is actually protected under the First Amendment, freedom of speech. So one of the police officers let the group know that they were okay to keep doing this.
Right now, I don't think you guys break the law.
But this other police officer wasn't able to accept this reality.
We're going to take it down.
Like, the call leader have said, no, have to be removed.
And then for
Why?
the rest of this footage, the police redacted all of the audio. So I called up the police station.
Why are their audio redacted?
To find out why.
All the redactions are done pursuant to the Utah State Code. We don't redact things just because we feel like it or, you know, just because something looks funny. Everything is redacted pursuant to Utah State Code. And other than that...
No, how about just release the full unredacted footage? Like, why is certain footage have to be redacted? That part is what I don't understand. When a police on doing business, like in public, right? When the police are doing public actions in the middle of the police action, why are their action being redacted to protect them? Like, aren't they supposed to do actions on behalf of the law? Why are their actions being redacted? I mean, they're supposed to be just, right? Just release the full thing.
I can't really delve into any more detail.
And somebody need to force this unredacted audio to come out, to be honest. Because obviously the truths are all in it.
Police made a mistake. They accidentally forgot to mute this police officer's audio, so when you sync the two clips together, I can actually hear what they're saying here.
He sees it or give it back? Is it an occasional crime? Is it disorderly conduct? Why? Is he upset about it? I mean, I guess, but that's not.
Yeah, this police officer is right. Just because this might make Josh upset does not make this poster illegal. So I decided to let the...
So basically they took down the sign because Joshua, their co-leader, is unhappy about it. Yeah, that totally makes sense, right? So because the leader is unhappy about it, we have to act on behalf of the leader. Makes sense. It makes sense. That's the only logical part so far, because it's actually accidentally released to the public. Guys,
the police department know that some of the redactions they made aren't exactly what they're claiming they are. I think you guys might have accidentally forgot to redact another clip that was at the same time, and when I sync the two...
You know what I like the most is that Ben just tell them exactly what the thing is. He'll tell them, hey, I found an error, and we got to see that you guys actually know that we're doing everything legal, but you still chose to do this. What's going on?
Two clips together, I was able to see what they were saying, like what the redaction was, and he was talking about how what we're doing actually isn't illegal and how the police officer might be wrong. And so it wasn't about protecting a victim, it wasn't any personal information. And so I was wondering, it seems like there might be a lot of stuff like that got redacted, maybe to protect the police officers, not to protect the victims, if that makes sense. And so...
yeah, we don't do that. So like I said...
I don't know why he's asking the police why you're like, I don't know why he's asking the police department why you're trying to redact your own stupidity. Of course I'm going to do that. That's common sense. But it's just funny that this is happening. So...
The only reason they're getting rid of this audio is to protect the police officers from getting fired.
Of course.
I don't know what the police officers are saying in this next clip, but I'm pretty sure they're scheming up a way to get the group
they also arrested his friend.
Because this is what happens next.
And Lieutenant Adamson can correct me if I'm wrong, but we're going to seize your phone right now.
Do not do that. You understand me?
That looks scary. That looked like from Outlast. Literally a clip from Outlast. I could literally AI this, and then put it in Outlast 2. You would think that's part of the game. I don't know what he did. Like, go back to watch the clip again. What did he do? He took out the phone.
Do not do that. You understand me? Right now, you're attempting to destroy evidence.
What evidence? I thought in America you need a search warrant for this type of stuff. Like, don't you need a search warrant so you can just randomly go through people's phone now when they did nothing wrong? Like, first of all, why is he being arrested? The audio have came out to prove, like, they know what this guy's doing is totally legal. They decided to basically arrest him because their co-leader is unhappy. And then now they're taking away his phone without any search warrant, any of that. And then now he's basically like using physical action to arrest him. And then took away his phone.
Okay, put your hands behind your back.
I was just locking my phone.
Okay, I'm going to switch over to the police officer's body cam POV so we can dissect what...
They're so calm, by the way. Like, I would have been pissed, but I can understand where it's coming from. In front of two guys with guns, I can easily just pin and then make up some random shit and shoot your ass and kill you. And your life isn't on the line. When your life isn't on the line, you know those two guys have guns. Why are these people have guns? Like, why do these kind of officers are qualified to ever touch a gun again? They should not be allowed near a gun. They should not be wearing this uniform. Yeah, like, dude, these are what scares me the most. This is literally like when you watch the old slavery movies, any movies about slavery, these are like the people who are on a horse, using a whip, controlling the slaves. That's literally who they are, listening to their co-leader. It's just scary. This is putting a bad image on the police that I support dearly.
what just happened.
Despite what happened to me, and I can tell you a story later on about my interaction with the police after I came to the United States.
First, the police officer asks if he can confiscate Sheldon's phone, so Sheldon says, okay, and reaches in his pocket to give it to him. But at this point, Sheldon sees that his phone is unlocked. And at this moment, he decided that before giving it to the police officer, he was going to lock his phone, which is totally legal. There's no search warrant, so Sheldon is legally allowed to lock his phone. But as the police officer saw Sheldon's thumb moving towards that lock button, he snatched it out of his hands. And now the police officer's claiming that because he tried to lock his phone, he's destroying evidence.
Silence.
Yeah, I was giving it to
Stop
you.
Talking.
I was
Stop
giving
talking.
it to you.
Okay.
Dude, this is such a bully behavior. Like, stop talking. They have been polite and complying the whole time. Why are you being so rude all of a sudden? Yo, because you're doing something wrong and you don't want them to question your wrongdoing. Brother. Oh my God. This actually, dude, I can't. Every time I watch this, I just get scared. Like, even more by the police department. Like, I just lose faith in this entire so-called justice system. This is literally Outlast code number 2. Like,
it's on my money. Look, it's on my wallet. I was turning it off.
Right now, this phone is being seized as part of this investigation, and you're being arrested. Okay, let's put him in the back of the car.
And again, the police decided to break the law, arrest Sheldon, all to protect an evil criminal.
I still don't know what he did wrong. Like at this point, what did he do wrong? We don't understand. He's being arrested. This is so scary, man.
Okay. My name's Detective Nikosha. I work here at the police department.
I did willingly hand over my phone, but when I handed him my phone, my wallet popped up. So I said, hold up, let me hit my power button. And I have it recorded as well. That's all I went and did. That's not obstruction of evidence. And then I let him have the phone. I wasn't trying to delete anything.
By the way, what he meant is this, right? So I'm obviously not going to show my wallet, but most of the smartphone, he seemed like he had an iPhone or some sort, but I'm not sure. I cannot confirm. But most of the phone, when you a lot of the power button here is like pay button, right? Because like mine, the same, like when I swipe up, I immediately get to see my credit card, right? I immediately get to see my credit card, gym, all this card. And it happens all the time where like you turn on your phone, accidentally trigger the pay. So and then basically your NFC is open and you can, now somebody can tap your phone and take your money. That's how the credit card system works, right? So he tried to turn it off by clicking on the button again. That's all that is. Number one, they don't have search warrant for his phone. Number two is, how is that a threat? Like, it's not your phone, dumbass. Fuck off. Like, dude, it pisses me off so much that these guys are in position of power to do whatever they want. Like a whole cult.
In fact, it is actually...
How can you safely live in this community and think that your kids are not being raped or being killed, or there isn't some dead body hidden in the yard somewhere that the cult leader didn't like, or there's some young kids that they have done some horrible things to? How can you not know? How can you just safely believe that's not happening? You don't know, right? The police is all out to protect these guys for some weird reason that cannot be justified from any common sense, any reasonable perspective. Obviously I'm saying extremes, but you know what I mean, right? You just can't believe anything that come out of this local police department or the entire area, the entire investigation. You're having the criminals investigating their own crimes. And Ben is eating it up. Bro, it's time to get federal involved. They have a lot of good people who are reaching out to them now. The only, I think, way to solve this again is to get federal involved. Everyone involved in these videos all need to be fired.
Impossible
and put in jail, investigated.
From a locked screen by hitting the power button.
This is some Epstein power grab type of shit, by the way.
So in no context could I have been trying to erase something by hitting one button on my phone. Now I'm sure you have a phone as well. When you hit the power button, that doesn't delete anything, does it?
I imagine it wouldn't, yeah.
Yeah, so that's all I did. So I don't know how that's obstruction of evidence, but that is what it is.
Now that Sheldon is in jail just for promoting our GoFundMe.
By the way, it got much worse. It got much worse. Watch this.
We started doubting if we'll ever even be able to get Brian his money back for his dad's Lego collection. It's crazy that out of all the powerful organizations I've gone up against, the one company I'm not able to beat is a Lego company. I literally couldn't have imagined a worse ending for this video, but I had no clue that it was about to get way worse.
Before getting into this, I hope Lego comes out and just retrack their license they give to Brick and Minifigs. This is scary. Like, you don't want to be, as a corporation, to get associated with a company that has a license to sell your products like this is not a smart move. I think for sure this will affect, I don't know how much it will affect Lego sales, but this is literally national drama right now. The entire United States attention is on this. Every single big streamers, big YouTubers are covering this. And I think they're all covering the wrong angles. Like, everybody's pissed that this is happening to Ben. Like, this is how evil of a corporation Brick and Minifigs is. My perspective is all on the police. Like, how scary the American justice system is. Like, what is this? What a stupid, like, you people are aspire to come to this country because they believe this is a great country. And with law and order, with people, human rights being put on a pedestal, everybody have equal rights, in front of the law. That's not, you watch this video, you're like, where is that justice? Like, how? Like, who's saying that? It's such a clown show, man. Jeez. This is literally from a movie, by the way. They have guns drawn. Dude, I'm not a gun person. Look at this. Look at this. Imagine have gun drawings on a bunch of kids in their home. For what? And by the way, they knew coming to this home what to expect, right? Doesn't matter what the action is. There's nothing life-threatening. Because all this, obviously these guys are raiding this house, knowing what's happening, knowing what they want. They knew these guys are just trying to get their Legos back. They know the case. Why putting a guns out? Because here's the thing, right? You can say, oh, they're for the protection, blah, blah, all this bullshit. Whatever you say. The police came in knowing what to expect. This is clearly not a dangerous case, right? You come to a regular person's house. You know the person's safe. You know the environment's safe. However, with a gun drawing like this, it shows power. It's a power grab to show, like, I dominate you. Kneels down in front of me. I'm your god now, and hand over everything. And by the way, if you happen to do any move that I see as a threat, it's time for you to meet Jesus, right? That's literally what this is. Why you have guns drawn like this? This is so scary to me, because imagine these kids doing everything lawful and then they have machine gun drawn on them. Literally, like sitting at home, machine gun drawn. Because we have seen cases in the past where police will see the tiniest action as a threat, and they will have, quote unquote, a lawful right to kill them, to execute them on the spot. This is what it is. I think maybe the top down would tell them, hey, maybe if there's accident happen, you can do whatever you want. That's actually what scares me. This is actually what might be the directive. Hey, let's just hope there's no accident. Let's just hope there's no accident. That's literally what this is. Why is gun drawing? What is it for? These guys are doing Legos, bro. What is this for? Just knock on the door, get what you need. Why is this necessary?
Search warrant. Stand up.
Jesus. Look at this. By the way, there's literally a guy, I watched a American police video, body cam, a guy who did nothing. And then he was crawling, he was crying, he was peeing his pants, like in a hotel. The police was telling him to crawl forward because there was a false report on him, like being a terrorist or whatever. And he was crawling. I forgot, it was in a Vegas hotel, I believe. And he was crawling on the ground, crying with his wife or partner on the side. And he was crawling because he's never seen this before. Like entire police or whatever, special force, with guns drawn to his head. And he was crawling forward. But he's kind of, like his pants was falling down. Because he was crawling and wearing like one of those shorts that pass over your knees. So when he's crawling, your pants fall off, which happens all the time to anyone who crawled before, right? He was crawling and he got shot and he died and the police was fine. Nothing happened to him. He moved out of the country, married a wife. So good job. Good job. Right? This is totally safe. It is totally safe. Don't have kids. By the way, guys, I'm not saying police shouldn't take precaution, because there are a bunch of domestic cases that's extremely dangerous for the police. I totally understand that. Again, my overall, I support the police, and my overall sentiment is like police should have the power to do to protect themselves and do to investigate a case. But this is clearly not that type of case. They came into this case, know what to expect. They knew who these people are. They knew everything about them, right? Because this case had been dragged for a month at this point, and there's literally no reason for any of these. This is like I think I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but this is actually just make you think. Some guy at the top, before they started this operation, just said, okay, let's hope there's no accident happen. Let's hope. Wink, wink.
No. Don't move like that. You understand me? Don't move like that. Okay?
What is that? What is that? Is that a cat? Is that a fat cat on the ground? Okay, going back to story. Now they're being swatted.
This cop pulled my arm so far back, it dislocated my shoulder. He claims it's because I was attempting...
This is a false picture, by the way, because it shows left. You can see the stock footage. And then they're pulling his right arm. So he's just doing it to emphasize the fact that it dislocated his
to make an escape or something.
Don't move like that. You understand me? Don't move like that. Don't move quick. Everybody just chill.
But see, here's the thing, though, right? I'm not going to criticize this so much. Because we're not at the moment. We're not at the heat of the moment. That's why like this type of action is so scary. And then I don't know why they have their hands like guns drawn, machine gun drawn. It makes no sense to me. This is scary to me. But like the fact that, because this type of action, police can see it as a very dangerous signal. Like he's trying to do something, blah, blah, blah. It all makes sense. You know, Ben can say it however that he wants. I don't think police going to be put in, like, for dislocating his shoulder, whatever. I don't think the police are going to get in trouble for that. Because every signal at an operation can be seen as a threat. That's why I don't know why this operation was needed to begin with. Right? It wasn't like the moment I think is wrong what police did. It's the intention of this operation to begin with. Right? Like,
was being completely still when he grabbed me, and I actually made zero quick movements.
He actually didn't, right? If you watch this video in continuation, there's nothing wrong he did. He just basically shrugged his shoulder, right? That's all he did. Like when you're walking, anybody can do that.
So he can give me a serious injury.
Included in the warrant are Legos.
Yes. The police department got an official warrant to search our house for stolen Legos. I should have seen this coming.
Imagine they're now investigating him for stolen Legos. I think that's all the footage I want to show here. But think about this for a second. Why is he being investigated for stolen Legos? When they clearly know this Lego thing has nothing to do with him. He's the third party who came in trying to help Brian and Eric, the father and son, to get the Lego back. Why is he being investigated? And investigation is fine. Why is he being swatted? And the actual criminal, I wouldn't say, okay, even you can claim, oh, he's not a criminal yet. He's just being investigated, right? He's defendant. The actual person, the most suspicious person, is living at home peacefully, watching his TV, probably watching his body cam live, right, with the rest of his cold friends on what is happening behind the scene. How can any common sense people trust American police after watching this? Like, they literally think everybody's just stupid. Like, this is so scary. And guys, I wouldn't watch the rest of the video, but watch, like, this will happen, right? Later on, the American Fork Police Department actually came out with a national press release. And then Reckless Ben actually responded to that, which is super funny because they couldn't got a worse person to do the press release, right? It's just such a horrible, horrible press release with blatant lie that can be debunked, that they knew was a lie. So because I don't believe people are stupid, then if they can say blatant lie that can be debunked, that they knew it was a lie, they just think you are stupid. Or maybe they're just saying that to their base. They're not really saying that to people who are outside because they know they're saying lies. They're spewing lies. Because if you say one lie, then your entire video is a lie. The entire press release is a lie, right? Because you either lie or you don't. There's no like, let me lie just a little bit. There's no such thing like that. So that's what's part of it.
The police officer was just making up an excuse, and now they're making up an excuse to defend it.
By the way, he's in Mexico at this point.
Another thing I find shocking is the chief of police, even after reviewing the dash cam footage, says that we ran a stop sign.
Richardson initiated a traffic stop on the vehicle for failing to stop before the stop line at a stop sign and failing to stop completely at that stop sign.
The chief of police looked at this video and said, "We ran a stop sign."
Like how? How is this chief of police still chief of police? I mean, you can use anything. Like at least make a fake ass reason that the public can get behind. Oh, okay, he actually have a point over there because we haven't. I'm all about hearing the other side of the story because I trust the police a lot most of the time. I'm all about hearing what the police actually investigated and what they heard from break-in Minifigs or the store owners, right? I'm all about that. But to look at this clip and just make up shit, say they didn't stop in front of a stop sign, is crazy. It's unbelievable. How corrupt can these people be? And how stupid is the base that's listening to this? That's why I don't believe like American political system either. Like look at LA race right now, right? I mean, you go to LA, you'd never want to go back to the city again. I don't understand why people are still okay with the current situation of LA, where you walk on the street, you walk on Santa Monica Bay, you walk on all the places, all feces, and yet the current mayor just won, I think, the mayor race, or am I wrong? This is recorded on June 3rd, 2026. I don't get it. Why are this, if there's no rigged system, how are people just stupid? Or why are these people still in power? Like, are you okay having your kids, having stroller with your newborn baby in the stroller, walking down the side of the beach with two homeless person on a tent, one person shooting drugs, other person pooping with his genitals hanging out? That's you're okay with, people from LA. Like, you're okay with that. Let me get that right? Like, I don't understand. I really don't. People are in Austin. You walk down Lake Austin, you walk under any bridge, you're okay with the smell of urine, right? You're okay. Like, tell me that. By the way, our taxpayer pay for that shit. I just don't understand. Like, America's it's on a huge decline right now, and everybody can see it, and any common sense can see it. And it seems like nobody is giving a freak, because it's not at the tilting point just yet. It's not at a boiling point, or people are mad enough. But this is really bothering me. It's not about the evil corporation. It's not about this sad father and son or Ben. It's just the police. This is bothering the living hell out of me, man.
And now he's using that to say, this was a legal traffic stop. The police officers did nothing wrong. At this point, we thought the best thing to do was to take Josh to court so he can be legally accountable for the crimes he committed.
Before I talk about an example, I want to tell you about where he is, right? So look at this narrative. Look at the end of the video.
At any moment now, I could be arrested without bail for some mystery crime.
So basically, he got put to jail. Like, they swatted his place, took him to jail, and then he got out of the jail, right? Eventually on a bail, because it's bullshit. The fact that he was in jail to begin with, and the fact they swatted his house. But he eventually got out of it, and on his way back home, he was told by his friend that there was another warrant on him at the time, which was true, and then that they're waiting for him to return and send him to jail again, because that's what that's how much power, influence the co-leader have, because they have basically when they were calling each other, literally the co-leader, I'll just call him the co-leader now, by the way, right? Joshua and Brandon, they threatened him that we're gonna put you in jail for life, right? Like, put you behind bars. That's what they're doing. They have the power to do that, apparently. They have the power above the entire police department, the entire law, apparently, above Donald Trump even, right? To put this guy behind jail. And so, that's what he did.
There really is only one thing that I can do now.
Well, I'm in Mexico now, and the American police have no authority here. Oh, what's going on? What the heck is that thing? Can you let us on that?
They're in Mexico.
But at this moment, I realized...
Brother, but he's really fit, by the way. APAC, he would be really popular in China. Brother, the fact that you put a law-abiding citizen, just a YouTuber, respectful, doing everything by the book, try to help the underdog to get their money back, and then well-mannered, you put this guy, you force him to go to Mexico. Like, he felt no sense of security in his own home country. That's scary to me. That's really scary. And then that's basically what had happened. And I know the police department has been under fire lately, right? Especially since the pandemic, with all the riots, George Floyd, all that kind of stuff. There seems to be a national push for the hatred towards police, or defund the police movement or whatever. there are all kinds of hatred towards police. Now, for the longest time, I'm always against it, right? Like, because I think it's stupid. It's against common sense. When there is a plague, you want a more law and order, executioner, the protector for law and order, right? So the lawful people, regular citizens can live, so the country can prosper. So I've always been a supporter of police. But instead, as much as I want to be on the side of them, on the law and order, this is blatantly corruption to the core of America justice system in broad daylight. A guy was a court with evidence, receipts, sharing calmly with the police for his exact intention, right? Complying with everything to the tooth and nail. Like, you have another guy that is shouting out loud. By the way, like, you watch the whole video, Joshua, the current store owner for the Brick and Minifigs, he's shouting out loud that I want to shoot him. The guy, the current owner, want to shoot Ben, basically, right? Verbatim, he said it in a call to the police department, recorded on tape. Yet the police came, instead of controlling the crazy murder intended criminal, right, who just threatened to kill somebody, instead of controlling him, the police, the American Fork Police Department, thought it was a good idea to harass the person who's complying with the law, with the officers, putting Ben in jail over makeup charges. Right, going on national TV and say stuff that's blatantly a lie, that's mostly a lie. And most of the body camera footage are redacted for the part that, and the police department said they're justified to do so. I mean, I don't know if they are or they're not, but there need to be a higher force, like aliens or just federal, that comes in and be like, no, you're not justified to do that. I want to see the full unredacted tape. The entire public, entire nation deserves unjustified tape, unredacted tape. In other words, AFPD is saying that I will only post the clips that's going to be beneficial to us, and all the bad stuff that we did behind the scene, you don't need to see that, We can just redact it. And that's apparently, okay by the law. I don't know. Again, I don't know. I'm not a law expert. I just hope there's a higher power. If it is, I wish there's a higher power that told him no. Yeah, maybe it is, but, I'm telling you no, right? Because I'm your boss. So, it's either you want to keep your job or listen to your co-leader. You choose, right? Either way. So they're acting like everybody is just so stupid and don't know how to watch a YouTube video themselves, like something that's recorded on tape, And I want to share an example that I had with the police. By the way, most police are actually very nice. Like, I've been pulled over for some random charges. And even sometimes, like, when I sped, like, you overspeed a little bit. When the speed limit was 45, I went like 50, 52 something. There was one time I got pulled over. I want to go to the hospital. I was looking at GPS because I don't know how to go to the hospital. And I use GPS for everything. I got pulled over. The police officer was nice enough to just give me a warning and let me go because I was looking at my phone. He said you shouldn't look at your phone when you're like driving. By the way, I wasn't looking at YouTube videos or anything. It was just GPS, and I wasn't holding in my hand. It was one of those things that this is what I did, right? Like, I have like one of those things in the back. So when I drive, I need to use GPS. I have my hands on the wheel. I have my GPS on the phone, and it's like this. So both of my hands are still on the wheel. So I was looking at this, and the police kind of saw me with a phone in my hand like this, I think, and they pulled me over. But he was nice enough. He came here and laughed and then asked for my information and just left. That interaction is all fine. But I had an example with the police where there was one time I went to the, it was called the, Enchanted Rock, right, next to Fredericksburg. And then it was the first time I went. I didn't get to climb the rock. So what happened was me and a bunch of friends were in the car, waited for a long time in the line. And it was really popular. Once we get to the front, the police, I think they were conducting order or whatnot, told us we cannot go. The park is shut down or whatever. I was really, obviously, after you wait for a long time, you don't get to go climb the rock. You're really sad, right? So I said, oh, like I was driver. And then the police came and said, you have to leave. So all I did was, like, because, we're disappointed that I cannot go. Obviously, I was frustrated. And the police immediately turned around, had his hand on the shoulder, like very pissed, because I remember this very vividly. And he said, what do you say? I said, nothing. Because I actually said just nothing. I was just disappointed that we didn't get to climb. I said nothing. No, you said something. I said, no, I didn't say anything. So, because he thought I was saying some racist stuff to him. I don't know. We didn't say anything. So I explained to him, no, I was really disappointed that I didn't get to go into the park. It was nothing related to you. Whatever you told me, I would just obey. You told me I shouldn't go in. We're going to leave now. But I'm just disappointed that we drove, because we drove from Austin to Fredericksburg for the Enchanted Rock. And dude, I gotta tell you, the police are always so tense, and it makes sense because the They're dealing with tons of bad people all the time, all day, all year, for years on, right? So you can understand they have a tough job to do. But this is not a tough job. This is still a tough job, but this is just corruption. This is just corruption. Like, after watching this, my common sense take on the police is we need more. We still need more police, but not less. But we need like good police who are like well paid and well qualified and well trained. Not like fat Karens who are easily corruptible or brainwashable, right? Like, there are a lot of police you see that get outrun by kids, you know, like, because they can't run very fast. They eat too much burgers. It's not good. They don't, like, I don't know why the police in the police force, and this is not just US, in China, there are a bunch of fat police also. I think police globally, right? They should be qualified physically to stay as a police because they are the executioner, the protector of the law. Imagine you can't chase the criminals. That would be troublesome, right? They should train their core. They train their cardio. They train everything. You stay at least fit, right? Not obese. Okay, that's beyond the point. Now you can argue that these lower level policemen were like brainwashed and they fed lies by the corrupted higher ups. Yeah, maybe. You know, I can say that most likely is the case here. The co-leader telling them what to do, or simply their police chief are telling them what to do. So they have to believe their police chief, and the police chief might be the subordinate of the, you know, Joshua and Brandon. I don't know, right? The church leader, right? The cult, literally the cult. That's why the only common sense just deal with this specific issue, right? To have every single police who is involved in this case investigated, starting from the tippity top of the food chain, the AG, the police chief. That's the only way to build trust among law-abiding Americans. Because I have lost all my faith in the police department after this. This is gone. Like, how can you trust police after this? Like, how can you? I don't even know if Austin. I think it's probably similar. Maybe not that extreme, but because this is Utah, right? I mean, and then there's a lot of religious factors in here. I don't know, right? It's just scary to me. Like, I get it. The world is not as black and white as we think, right? It's not always right versus evil. It's not like, actually, most of the time, from my experience, it's always mafia versus mafia. Like all the American parties will not. It's just different mafia versus mafia, right? Whoever gets power will try to destroy the other mafia, right? You take care of your own mafia circle, aka, like in this case, AFPD, right? And then we take care of our own, aka the normal folks. I get it. You know, that's the game we're playing. That's totally fine. That's why, like, I think it's all about winning or losing. End of the day, it's power, right? That's why country need develops is like military power. Because end of the day, it's all power play. Like this international law BS, none of them makes sense to me. Because the country, end of the day, how country interact with each other is not about money. It's all about like resources and power. Like, why should a country with absolutely no power dictate a country with absolute power that can destroy you in a day? Like, think about an alien invasion to Earth, right? Common sense. You think there's international, intergalactic law the alien's gonna follow? Bro, it's either we can defend ourselves or we can't. That's it. So, this is so stupid to me, but that's beyond the point. We can discuss another day. The only thing is, I think the only way for the common folks to win in this case is to get Trump and Trump's family involved. Like, I really do think so, right? Like, the only way for them to win is to get Trump family involved. And then it's going to be a big political win for them if they do get involved and help the poor family. Like, get them a political win and take these clowns down completely. Just like the fraud that's being happening is being taken down right now, right? And even then, the fraud is being executed pretty slowly, I think. Like, some people have power there that's slowing this process down. I don't know. But this entire case being national news, I don't know. Does anyone have Donald's contact? Hold up. Let me just give my homie a call. I'm just kidding. But that's it, guys. That's my take on it. Comments' take on it. My focus is not on the case, Reckless Ben, with Joshua, with Brandon and Joshua, the store owner, or the Brick and Minifigs of corporation. Really, I think there are a lot more complicated stuff going behind the scene because, you know, it's not stuff that I care about. My focus, although that's still really exciting stuff that's been developing, and I think justice will be served eventually. My focus on the police department, right? The justice system. Because for the longest time, I've trusted them. And then this video, after it came out, it just broke my whole belief system in the United States. bro, like this is so crazy. I think this is what make people go extreme. That's why American society is so crazy. The people are so extreme. I don't know how often this happens. Please, like, make it right? Like this clowns need to get fired and go to jail. But that's our take. Like and share, and I'll see you guys all next time.